So if you've been looking for the recipe that is going to win any chili cook-off from here on out, today is your day. I'm Mel from Mel's Kitchen Cafe, and I'm sharing with you this super easy and, more importantly, this super delicious recipe for creamy white chicken chili. So the great thing about this chili is you can use already cooked chicken, like a rotisserie chicken. It works great here. But if you don't have it and you want to kind of build that extra level of flavor, you can also use raw chicken. So to start, I heat a little oil in my saucepan. You can use olive oil, avocado oil, really any oil that you prefer. And to the hot oil, you're going to add your onions and your chicken if using. But remember, you can add cooked chicken at the end. To the sauteed onion, you're going to add fresh garlic or garlic powder. Are you beginning to see how adaptable this recipe is? You're also going to add ground cumin, some salt, some pepper, and then some canned green chilies. If you don't have green chilies, the canned variety, go ahead and chop up an Anaheim or a poblano pepper. They are amazing in this, and they add like a hint of freshness that really adds to the complexity of the flavors of this chili. So you're gonna cook this mixture, the onions and the spices and the garlic, you're gonna cook all of that until the onions start to turn translucent. This is really important because it gives time for all of those flavors to blend while they're cooking in the hot oil. Continue to stir it around. You can moderate the heat to make sure that the onion isn't sticking. You don't want them necessarily to turn brown. You just want everything to really soften and cook nicely together. Once the onion has started to turn translucent and you're going to smell a really fragrant, spicy aroma, you're going to add the other ingredients. And this is when you just start dumping things in. It's so easy. You're going to add about 1.75 cups of chicken broth. And you're also going to add your beans. I like to use white Great Northern beans for this. I open up the cans of beans, I pour those beans into a colander, and I rinse them really lightly. This kind of gets rid of some residual salt and other ingredients that can be added to cans of beans so that the real hearty flavor of the beans comes through in the chili. So once all of those ingredients are added, you're just gonna give the chili a really good stir and then crank up that heat a little bit. I would say to about medium high-ish, and you're going to bring the chili to a gentle simmer. At this point, you can simmer the chili for as little as 10 minutes or as long as an hour. It really depends on how much time you have. It is delicious either way, I promise. Once the chili has simmered for a little while, you're going to give it another good stir, and while it's simmering, make sure that you stir it every once in a while. You don't want those beans sticking to the bottom, and that's gonna be a really good hint that you need to turn the heat down just a little bit. So if you are using cooked chicken, instead of cooking the chicken in the first step, this is where you want to add it. Go ahead and stir those chicken pieces into the chili before moving on to the next step. So at this point, you're going to add the sour cream and the whipping cream. Now I know some people panic at the thought of whipping cream and chili. Let me promise you, it works out, and you will be happy that you did this. But if you are opposed to using cream and chili, there is another variation that works great. You can simply whisk together a tablespoon of flour into the same amount of milk and add that to your chili instead. It helps thicken the chili a little bit, which is what you're after by adding the cream. You're gonna miss a little bit of that richness, but it'll still be delicious. So stir in the sour cream, stir in the cream or the milk mixture that you're using, and give that a really good stir so it's really well and evenly combined. You can heat the chili through at this point or leave it to warm on the stove for as long as you need it. This chili is amazing, ladled into a bowl and eaten just as is. But you can top it with crushed tortilla chips, cheese, cilantro, additional sour cream, any other kind of chili topping that you want. Okay, you guys, armed with this recipe, you literally have the top secret way to win that chili cook-off. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this recipe. For this recipe and more, visit melskitchencafe.com. It is life-changing. It is so delicious.